Hey, Carpool Crew, it's Pastor Justin. Maybe you're riding to school right now. Maybe you're trying to tie your shoes or just grabbing your backpack or thinking about something you don't really want to do today. Wherever you are, I'm so glad you're here right now. Before we jump in, I want to give a big shout out to Mallory out in Mississippi. I remember learning how to spell Mississippi when I was a kid, and I still know it, Mississippi. And I love that you make Carpooling with Jesus part of your regular daily routine. You're wonderful, Mallory. God sees you, He loves you, and I hope you have an incredible day today. Now, let's jump in with our key verse, which is Luke chapter 14, verse 33. This is Jesus talking, and here's what He says. In the same way, therefore, every one of you who does not renounce all of his possessions cannot be my disciple. Now, let's talk about that because that sounds pretty extreme. Okay, renounce all our possessions. What's Jesus talking about? See, He said this while He was teaching a big crowd of people who were following Him. Some people were excited, some were curious, some thought following Jesus would be easy, and they offered to do it. So Jesus told them a story to help them understand what following Him really means. Now, this applies to everyone back then He was teaching. It applies to us today because I, Pastor Justin, wants to follow Jesus. I want to be more like Jesus every day. Friends out there in the Carpool Crew, I want you to follow Jesus. I want you to be more like Jesus every day. Parents, yeah, I'm a parent like you. I want you to be more like Jesus because I want to be more like Jesus because Jesus wants us to be more like Jesus. So He talked about a king that was going to war. Yeah, it's a pretty good story. Back then, kings didn't just rush into battles. They didn't guess. They didn't hope things would work out. A king had to stop, count his soldiers, check his supplies, make sure he was ready. See, going into battle halfway would be dangerous. Jesus was saying something really clear, and He was using this example because He knew they would understand it. Following Him isn't something you do halfway, because that's not good. You don't sort of listen. You don't obey kinda and only when it's easy. You don't follow Jesus only on the weekends when you go to church or only during the day when you're at school. You follow Jesus all the time. You don't follow Jesus only when someone is watching. Jesus wants your whole heart, your whole effort, your whole real obedience. See, that doesn't mean being perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm sure you're not either. There was only one perfect person. It was Jesus. It means being honest and trying your best even when it's hard. So what does it look like today to follow Jesus? First, do your best in everything you're doing. If you're doing schoolwork, do your best. If you're reading a book, do your best. If you're wrapping up Friday and getting ready for the weekend, do your best at wrapping up Friday, cleaning your room, organizing your stuff to get ready for the weekend. Second, be the same person everywhere. Be the same person at school as you are at home. Be the same person at church as you are on your sports team. Be kind, respectful, be honest with people. Be the same person everywhere, just like Jesus was. And third, obey even when no one is checking. This is so important. When your teacher leaves the room, don't go wild. When your parents aren't looking, don't sneak something that you know you shouldn't have. God is watching. God still sees. He loves you, but He wants you to obey when no one is checking. Now, every time you choose full effort, you're choosing to follow Jesus all the way. Here's our big takeaway today. Jesus wants us to follow Him fully, not halfway. Remember, no matter where you are or how you're listening, God loves you. And parents, if you're liking this podcast, consider subscribing. For less than a cup of coffee a month, you could have Carpooling with Heroes of the Bible, Goodnight Psalms, our nightly bedtime podcast, and the weekend episodes and special episodes of Carpooling with Jesus. This weekend, we're going to be doing a special Valentine's Day episode and an episode on building on a strong foundation. I hope you consider it. Now, before you go, let's answer this question together. What does doing something halfway look like? And what would it look like to do it all the way? I'll see you tomorrow or next Monday on Carpooling with Jesus.